Hi, I'm Tavy, and welcome to our Decoding Asia's Venture Capital Landscape series, where we speak to some of the movers and shakers in the venture capital, private equity, investment and startup ecosystems attending the Deal Street Asia's PE and VC Summit. Today we'll be speaking to Orchlon, founder and CEO of Eureka, as he shares his nuanced insights behind Asia's thriving innovation investment landscape. Orchlon, can you please tell us more about Eureka, as well as your role in the organization?
Hi, first of all, thank you for having us. Great to see you. So in terms of Eureka, what we're trying to do is we want to unlock the potential of high quality carbon credits to act as a bridge for us to collectively to get to net zero. And Eureka is a blockchain-based marketplace for high quality carbon credits. Through our technology, we want to make it much more accessible all over the world. And we want to enable and mobilize people at the grassroots level, especially in developing countries, empower them to be able, to the extent that they can, to transition to clean energy and to basically fight climate change at the grassroots level.
That's fantastic, thank you very much. And how exactly is Eureka helping to solve climate change? What sets you apart from other organizations in the space?
So I think with Eureka, what we've realized is that because the climate change is such a big issue, it's such a time-sensitive issue, it's no longer enough for big corporates and governments to be tackling this. And as we've said, we really want to mobilize and enable normal everyday people to be able to play their part in decarbonizing the future and helping fight climate change. And what we've found is that a lot of people want to be able to do their part, but they don't have a platform to offset their own carbon footprint, to learn more about climate change. So through Eureka and the marketplace, we're trying to change that and make high quality carbon credits much more accessible to everyday people. And then on the other hand, through our technology, machine learning and IoT, for the first time actually, we're enabling individual households to be able to have their carbon credits accredited at no cost and start getting the benefit and revenue associated with carbon credits at the grassroots level. And I think that's been a very, very powerful paradigm shift that we've seen across the industries that we work with, where we've got disenfranchised, low-income households that want to transition to clean energy, to be frank, not because they care about the environment, but because they don't have access to good electric grids. They don't have access to electricity, so they don't have access to education. They can't send their kids to school. They can't go on the internet. So we've seen communities that have come together to pour their savings into buying solar systems so that they can have energy when they need it, right? And then for them to be able to have their carbon credits accredited and start earning revenue on that by selling their carbon credits, we've seen a very, very powerful impact at the grassroots and community level in terms of being empowered to do more against climate change, as well as learning more about how they can personally contribute to help fighting climate change.
Thank you, that was incredibly insightful, and I think the paradigm shift that is remarkable. Historically, we were told that it was governments that had to be making the changes, but actually it's the people on a grassroots level, and that's fascinating that you've been able to leverage that wealth of people to do this. Thank you. So what has the response from investors been so far into Eureka?
So I'm happy to say we've just closed our initial pre-seed round. And it was amazing because that was all with the help of our friends and family. So we actually haven't reached out to institutional investors, if you will. I think we've started testing the waters, and I think being here and attending this has been really insightful. And the reason why we've been very careful in that is we want to make sure that we can work with partners and investors that are quite genuine and authentic institutionally when it comes to helping fight climate change. And our team and the people and communities that we're working with, that will be the number one sort of criteria. Because if institutions and our partners don't believe in the need to fight climate change, then I think it's not the alignment that we can build from the beginning. So I think, hopefully our target is by the end of next year, we'll close our next round of financing, which should help us scale the business across Southeast Asia, help onboard more communities to the marketplace, as well as help us spread the word around making carbon credits an investable asset that normal, everyday people can invest and buy and participate in. But as I've said, we've had some very interesting preliminary discussions with a few investors, and the response has been very generous and very humbling. So we remain cautiously optimistic.
Thank you. It's never been more apparent that a strategic investor has to be more authentic than in this space. Good luck. We wish you all the best with that. Let's get into that difficult question. There has been a lot of controversy surrounding carbon credits. What's your take on this, and how can it be smoothed?
I think it's really good that there's been controversy, that people have started talking about this. One of the pitfalls of carbon credits was the markets used to operate in darkness, and because of that, I think there were a lot of opportunistic agents that, one example is a broker buying a carbon credit from one project at $5 a ton and then reselling it to a major corporation at $100 a ton, right? So that used to happen. People wouldn't really check the quality of the carbon credits. There wasn't a lot of transparency. So it's really great that people have started talking about this and addressing this, and having the problem float out to the surface. I don't know if you saw the segment on John Oliver around carbon credits. I thought the message I thought was quite good. And I think the fact is that transparent, high quality carbon credits can be a really powerful bridging mechanism to get us to net zero. They're not the answer to completely eradicating climate change, but they are a really great, if used properly, they're a really great empowering tool, especially for marginalized communities, for developing countries, to accelerate their transition to clean energy, etc., right? So from that perspective, I think what we are trying to do, the reason why we use machine learning, IoT, blockchain, is to bring that transparency, credibility to carbon credits. And we've got, I think, 15 people full-time working with us now. Half of our team are engineers, but the other half are sustainability experts. So we view just as sustainability and knowing and being experts in this field is just as important as engineering, software engineering, and blockchain engineering. So from our perspective, the reason why Eureka was founded is because of problems like this that you mentioned around carbon credits. So we want to change that and make it, open it up to be much more credible, transparent, and accessible for people.
Thank you very much. So we've just been hearing from Orchlon of Eureka about the democratization and transparency requirements surrounding carbon credits. Fascinating insights. Thank you very much. We wish you all the best with your investment moving forward.